Here we are again. We're waiting on the putty to come in for the Shadow Dragon, so I can finish sealing up the little tiny cracks and holes around his wings. You can make out some of the detail here. In the meantime, little pieces of the head and all I want to fix. I'm going to work on some of these new bones miniatures I got. And first one I really want to mess with is this Ghoul Queen. So we're going to open her up and look at the detail today. This is Ghoul Queen Reaper Bones version, number 77175 by artist Werner Clock. W Clock is what it says here. That's Werner Clock. He's done several sculpts for Reaper, including another Ghoul Queen in 2006. It was 03126, and I believe it's called Ghoul Queen and Servants. If I can, I'll try to get you an image up here somewhere on the screen. But I want y'all to get a good look at the detail on these miniatures. See if we can get it there. There's a little focus. This is very nice. Nice little chains and details running on her costume, and let's see this sword sheath here and this other sword, little flimsy pieces. These are supposed to be bone, and I think these are bone also. And then she's got this little crown, and I thought that was like not supposed to be connected, but I've looked at a couple of photos and I think that is supposed to be there. That's part of her little helmet she's wearing. Once I prime it, it'll be easier to tell. I really enjoyed painting Cthulhu, but the points of the bony horns on the back of his head here that were sticking out the back, as I was finishing up some of the paints and stuff, just manipulating him like this, when the fingers touch and that stuff just moves so easy, it started cracking in one of the little curved areas where those horns are. And I did some sealer and repaired it, and it's kind of looked like a detail in the horns when I got done. You know, it's what a couple of people said when they seen it. But to me, that, you know, for a high quality display piece, I would not really go with the bones material. It's cheap. I mean, that's what it's meant to be to me. I think, you know, $2 for a tabletop mini you're going to use every week, you know, it's nice. We play a regular game of Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm going to use her as my Daughter of the Dead, priestess of the Death God. She serves a lich in the local area who's been building a cult and has doubled his ranks in the last few years. And the party lives right on the outskirts of his territory. But anyway, back to the bones material. It's nice. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it holds detail fairly well, but I don't think it's as good as some of the plastic GW stuff. I've seen some pretty good sculpts out of all the Reaper metal that look better than this, but it's cheap. This was $2 plus, I don't know, a little bit of shipping, and I got a package of them, so I got all of the shipping together. So I really only paid like $2.50 for like 5 minis plus the premieres. Well, the 4 minis plus the premieres, I believe, is what it was, and so, you know, a quarter to 60 cents a piece on shipping, and $2.10 per miniature. Not bad for the sculpt that you get. And, you know, if you're playing tabletop, you know, HeroClix miniatures aren't this detailed, and neither are the other Wizards of the Coast plastic D&D miniatures. I mean, some of them are fair, but not like this. And you can really paint this up nice. I mean, I painted one large one already, so I enjoyed that paint, and it took paint well once you primer coated it. But I've already cleaned this one. As you can tell, I had it cut open. I've filmed this 3 times already. Check out some of these if you want some cheap tabletop miniatures. They're pretty easy to paint. You don't even have to paint them. I mean, you can pretty much tell what they are by the details on them. You could prime it up and do a little dry brushing and go to town and just play a game. But I'm a little more advanced than that. I don't think I paint anything under level 3. I mean, even my Orc Boys, my knobs, this is minus detailing and washes. And as you can see, I don't necessarily do much of a tabletop flesh standard, like just a quick arming. My stuff is going to be painted. It's the artist in me. I can't help it. I enjoy the process, and I enjoy making each piece come together. But check out my art boy. Yeah. I prefer the standard metal miniatures. This is, of course, the party's friendly captain of the guard of their keep. Bob is the friendly fighter. I think he's taking a prestige class actually for this next session. He's not a PC, he's more of an NPC, and we're kind of getting into some name level stuff where the characters reach 10th level. Nice sculpts, good minis for $2 a piece. Try not to get things with too many of these flimsy pieces sticking out that are going to create problems, like a sword coming way out. I'm kind of worried about that necromancer I got. Maybe I can straighten him up and get him to stay nice, but good sculpts. Hope this video is in better quality than what I've been doing. The little point and shoot just doesn't do justice. Gonna be going to town on this as soon as I get my milliput stuff here and we can clean him up. And, this one was really what bothered me, is you can see an obvious line of casting where the tongue was too big to go into the thing, and if I'd have paid attention when I first started putting it together, I probably would have tried to file that tongue down on the inside and fix that myself, but instead I just quickly put it together in a rush like an idiot, and it's ready to go as soon as I get me a little putty to clean up. But there was still some putty I had to do here. You can see down the back there, and you can also see it on top of his head and on the sides of his jaw. If I can get this angle just right, this right in there. I did not pin this, I just did him kind of partial open. It was nice, easy, got the horns away from the fins for painting, as you can see there. Gives me a good painting room. I still think I'm going to make a base for him, and there was an issue with this piece of flashing across here. It didn't take long to do it, and I only did it with a medium fine sander like this, and I did it by setting it down level flat and doing the dragon like that just a couple of times to clean it off. But I noticed this dragon kind of sits leaning this way a little bit, so he's a little side heavy, and this sculpt, the wing is up, and this sculpt, the wing is down over here, almost kind of at a 3/4. I don't know if you can make that out in the, if I can get him to look right, but this one here looks like it's up, this one looks like it's down. Maybe for balance issues I might try to work on this wing and fix it before we get to doing any work on it. That way when he's in the display he'll actually look a little unique, and he won't be wobble heavy, just in case somebody bumps the case or whatever. Or I'll make him a base. I haven't decided yet. He's a shadow dragon, so this is not going to have much to it. Painted black with some dry brushing and some detail. Maybe it's just a bunch of rocks, but it'd be cool to have him up on something, some little underground mushrooms or something like that. So that's coming soon, but until then, expect some of the Reaper bones to get painted until I get some things shipped in. I live out in the boondocks where I'm at, so we'll see you soon.